the bass we were just listening to is a custom 41-inch scale neck I've recently completed. And I've made this for a customer who was using a super low tuning. He was using the 35-inch scale before on the same body. It's the ESP LTD model. And he was using that to go an octave below a standard 5 or 6 string bass. So he was having to use some epic strings to compensate for that. The intonation wasn't very good and the action was quite high. He was getting by okay, but he wanted to go for this extra long scale to make it a bit more playable and sound better. So I'm going to show you what it's like to play now. So here you can see the old neck with the new neck and how much longer the new one is. So the nut is about where the E and the G string tuners would have been on the old neck. So it's quite a bit of extra length there. So comfort wasn't a big concern of ours going into this. It was just the priority would be able to get those low notes. So we weren't concerned about the fact it's not going to balance. We knew that going in, and it wants to dive to the floor. And we also knew it was going to be a bit of a reach to get the first fret. But having said that, it's not at all uncomfortable to get that, for me anyway. The body sits quite far this way, naturally. So that helps with that. If it was sitting more this way, obviously it would make it even harder to reach. But as it is, it's okay. And also the spacing between the frets is okay. You don't have to have a huge hand to be able to span a couple of frets. It's perfectly usable. So the tuning he's got on this is B, which is an octave below the normal B you would have on a 5 or 6. And then this is E, again octave below, A, also octave below, and then you have to, this here is the D, which you would normally have on a drop D on a 4 string or any other bass. And then he's got a couple of different ones down here. He's got F sharp instead of G, so it's tuned down, and then B instead of on a 6 string it would be C. So the gauge wise, I think this is about 230. Before with the 35-inch scale, I think he had a 260 or 280, so it was even bigger than this, and it didn't sound half as good. So one of the concerns, obviously, building a neck with such a long scale under so much tension is ensuring that it's strong enough. So with this, we've got carbon fibre running up the centre, obviously on the fretboard side. Under there, straight up the middle, we've got a big, thick carbon fibre bar. And then on either side of that, we've got the twin truss rods, be able to adjust each side of the relief on each side of the neck, because we've got a very different string size on either side, so they're going to need different levels of relief. And then on either side of those truss rods, we've got a steel bar on each side with carbon fibre underneath that. So there's lots of reinforcement gone into it to make sure it can withstand that tension. I think it's 240, 250 pounds or something this neck is under of strain, so it was worth putting all the extra effort in, making sure we got that reinforcement in there. So I'll just show you some of the woods we've used on this. So it's a maple 5-piece neck, and the 2 stripes in the middle are a wood called Panga Panga, which is very like wenge. It's basically exactly the same, it's just a different name, and it's a bit more sustainable than wenge is. So we've got that on the fretboard as well, and we've got the New Zealand Paua inlays. And go up to have a look at the headstock end. So this is the headstock shape, is loosely based on the original one from the LTD, just a bit more refined and less metal looking. And I've made a aluminium truss rod cover for it as well, and a bone nut. And these are the same tuners off the LTD. So I'll turn over now and show the back. So we've got a nice sculpted heel down this end. The old one didn't have this, it had like a flat what came out to here, but it's much nicer to have it actually look like it's going into the body. It makes it nice and smooth to high fret axis if you ever venture that far up. Not really what this bass is about there. And then at the headstock end we have a volute here to give a bit of extra strength, which is no bad thing with a neck with this much tension on. So I hope this has given a rough idea of how the bass sounds. It's all just been recorded with my camera because I couldn't get it to go through the computer, it was just too low for it. But fortunately the customer, the new owner of this bass, has got all the right gear to be able to record it properly and make it sound as best. So I'm going to get some files off him over the next couple of weeks. He's going to record some stuff on it, and then I'll put them up on my Facebook and Instagram page. So if you check back in a couple of weeks, you should be able to hear how it sounds like on those. But I'm really happy with it anyway. I really like the bass. It's got a nice quality to all the notes, not just the super low ones, just because of that extra long scale. Makes it super clear and really depth to the notes. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you'd like to see more content like this, please subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and thanks again for watching.